Daily Trust News Center. This is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, 4 killed, 8 others abducted as bandits attack Katsina farmers. Appeal Court affirms Fintiri's election as Adamawa governor. NCDC reports 13 cases of dengue fever in Sokoto State. And on the foreign scene, Guinea depot fire toll rises to 11 dead, 88 injured. Hello and welcome to Trust News Hour tonight. I am Eugenia Abu. 4 people have been killed and 8 others abducted after bandits attacked farmers in Katsina State. The incident occurred in the Nahuta and Dansutu communities of Batsari local government area of the state. An eyewitness said the bandits surrounded the area from Saturday evening when the farmers were busy working on their farmlands, shooting sporadically. The bandits reportedly operated until the early hours of Sunday. The spokesman of the Katsina Police Command has confirmed the incident on Monday. The police say it has successfully rescued 5 persons unhurt out of the 8 that were earlier kidnapped. Batsari is one of the frontline local government areas in Katsina State where banditry is on the increase. Our reporter in Katsina, Abdullahi Yamadi, is joining us live via phone call to give an update. Hello, Yamadi.
Hello, good evening.
A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Given the persistent attacks on farmers, give us an understanding of how critical the situation is on agricultural activities.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so we'd like to find out from you how this persistent attacks on farmers has impacted the agricultural activities in the area.
Well, at the moment, like you said, out of the 8 people abducted, 4 have escaped with various degrees of injuries. And of course, there is also 1 person who escaped with gunshot wound, who is recuperating at the Batali General Hospital. In a telephone chat with the escapees this evening, they say they were beaten with sticks and other dangerous weapons by the bandits. And of course, at the moment, they are receiving medical attention at a clinic in the area. There's also the issue of not gaining access to their farmlands, because according to them, even on Sunday, they saw the bandits regrouping and regrouping around their communities, planning to launch an attack in the event of any attempt by the members of the community to continue with the harvest and evacuation of their farm produce. And for this reason, residents of the 2 communities, talking about Dansunsu and Nahuta, remained indoors observing the movement of the bandits since the last Saturday's attack. And the worst part of it is all of this is happening despite the presence of combined security operatives stationed in the communities, I think, since 2019. And of course, even on Sunday, the bandits were bold enough to come out brandishing weapons and threatening to attack the community again and displace the villagers. And it is in view of this, in my chat with them this evening, they are appealing to relevant authorities to deploy more security personnel and provide them with armored personnel carrier and other gadgets. This is to effectively defeat the bandits and other elements. And it is important to note that Dansunsu and Nahuta communities are geographically located near Rugu Forest, where most of these bandits are hibernating at the moment. And when you talk about insecurity, but the local government is one of the worst hit in Katsina State. So this is currently the situation in those areas.
Talk us through what the Katsina State government is doing in the face of this several attacks. And of course, we know that there's the presence of the Community Watch Corps. But what about the state government? What is their answer to these challenges?
Well, the state government, the Community Security Watch Corps is an outfit of the state government. And these people are performing wonderfully at their various communities because of the full knowledge of the terrain and, of course, the elements that are fomenting trouble in those areas. So they are operating with vigor. And, of course, most of these attacks were discouraged and checked by these members of the Community Security Watch Corps, working in collaboration with other security personnel, talking about military and, of course, the police. I think most of the frontline local governments have enjoyed a relative peace, if not for this last Saturday's attack.
So talk to us about the communities. Other than staying indoors, how are they dealing with the insecurity? Well,
you see, most of these members of the communities affected by this insecurity are handicapped. So they are relying heavily on the support by the security personnel. Like I said, even at Tansunsu and Naguta, there were this military camp there. But the attack was not in the two communities, but outskirts of the communities on their farmlands. So the communities are heavily depending on the security personnel to do the needful. Most of these issues, when they reported the attacks, because of the inaction of some of the security personnel, it takes hours before they respond to distress calls. So these are some of the issues that are affecting the communities at the moment. And that's why they had been calling on the government and other authorities to deploy more security operatives in those areas. But as far as they are concerned, there is little or nothing they can do to address this issue, this insecurity.
I want to thank you, Abdullahi Yamadi, our reporter, bringing us up to date from Katsina. In the meantime,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed. In the meantime, residents of Zurmi town in Zurmi local government area of Zamfara state have cried out for help against persistent attacks by bandits on the village and its environs. The assailants, who had within the last 1 week invaded the town 4 times, killed 3 persons, abducted 16 others, and burnt a police outpost and 2 military operational vehicles. On Saturday, the bandits attacked Nasarawa Zurmi on the outskirts of Zurmi town, killed 1 person, abducted 3 others, and razed a police outpost. The attackers returned to the town around 9 in the night on Monday, but residents alerted the soldiers who rushed to the area. 9 residents were said to have been kidnapped, while another person who resisted being abducted was killed. The bandits again returned to the town on Tuesday, but were engaged by the soldiers in a gun duel, which residents said lasted for 2.5 hours. Daily Trust regional editor Yushau Adamu gives us an update.
The situation, we can describe it as terrible, especially from 9th of December to 13th of December, because the people of Zurmi have witnessed series of attacks from bandits, which many of them suspected that is a revenge mission, especially by one of the terror leader. 2 terrorists carry out the attacks. That is Sani Black and the Sani Dankani. Sani Black, it was alleged sometimes ago some soldiers have recovered large number of animals from his gang. And now he planned to attack the area so that he can recover what he lost to the soldiers. So he attacked first on December 9th. He attacked one village called Nasarawa Zurmi. He killed one person there and abducted 3 people. They also burnt police outpost there. On Monday, he returned to the village. He directly invaded Azurmi town, where he killed one person, or they killed one person and abducted 9. What surprises many people then was that they were able to enter the town without noticing from the residents. Until after they gain access to the town, then some of the residents realized that they have bandits among them. So they alerted soldiers. Unfortunately, they checked shield with locals within the town, some of them. They divided themselves into 2. So when the soldiers arrived, they only saw one portion of the bandits, and they chased them out of the town, not knowing that the remaining are within the locals. So after they left, they abducted 9 people and killed 1. That is on Monday. On Tuesday, the other guy, Sani Dankarani, came with his men and trying to gain access into the village or town. Unfortunately or fortunately for the residents, the soldiers were ready for them. So they engaged them in gun battle for 2.5 hours. And they were able to chase them away from the area. So that is for the 3 days. Unfortunately, yesterday in the morning around 10 o'clock, these people returned to Zurmi again. And they abducted 4 female villagers who spent their nights in a nearby village. While they are coming to Zurmi, they were abducted. So the soldiers there, sincerely speaking, are really trying, but they need reinforcement. And from what the state government, the state government was saying, is that the governor has given directives to deploy more security personnel to the area. It is terrible, of course. It is terrible. In fact, some of them have started relocating to Gusau. Like 2 people I have spoken with, they have relocated to Gusau, and they are planning to evacuate their families from Azurmi to Gusau.
Daily Trust Regional Editor Yushau Adamu, we thank you. The troops of Operation Hadarindaji, OPHD, say they have rescued 13 kidnapped victims and arrested 11 suspected logistics suppliers to a notorious terrorist kingpin in Zamfara State. In a statement issued on Monday, the spokesperson for the Operation Hadarindaji, Captain Yahaya Ibrahim, said the combined troops made the arrests and rescue along Bubirawang Charlie and Dangulbi areas of Dansadao axis in Maru local government area of Zamfara State. Captain Ibrahim said all rescued victims who are from Mutunji village of Dansadao Emirate in Maru local government area of Zamfara State are currently undergoing medical treatment and debriefing. It added that the OPHD troops arrested 11 suspected terrorists, logistics suppliers who supply logistics to a notorious terrorist, Hali Lusububu, at Kwanar Boko in Zurmi local government area of Zamfara State. The suspects, according to the statement, were arrested while conveying 127 bags of grains in 2 canter trucks belonging to a terrorist kingpin, Hali Lusububu. The minority whip and representative of Usa constituency in Taraba State, Rikupki Ureyang, says several communities in his constituency have been invaded by bandits from the Republic of Cameroon. Identifying Fiku, Kwambo, and Kwambopuri as the most severely affected, Ureyang expressed concern over the existence of bandit camps and attacks on vulnerable communities. He alleged that over 500 persons have been killed in Usa by bandits and terrorists in the last few years, adding that the murderers who come in from Cameroon via the border communities have continued to launch attacks on vulnerable communities. The lawmaker pleaded with the federal government to urgently deploy the military to strategic locations in Usa, particularly the Kwambo Yashi area of Kumbo ward, where recent attacks claimed 5 lives. He urged stakeholders to set aside politics and collaborate with federal authorities to decisively address the escalating security crisis, emphasizing the negative impact on food production in USA, which is known for its contributions to grain and fruit production. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has affirmed Ahmadu Fintiri of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as governor of Adamawa State after dismissing the appeal of Aishatu Binani of the All Progressives Congress, APC, for lacking merit. In the judgment prepared by Justice Tunde Awotoye and read by Justice Ebiowe Toby on Monday, the appellate court also awarded the cost of 500,000 naira in favor of Fintiri and the PDP against Binani. The appellate court frowned at the premature announcement of the election outcome by the resident electoral commissioner, Hudu Ari, adding that Binani's appeal was plagued by several demons. The court stressed in strong terms that the action of the resident electoral commissioner in announcing Binani as the winner was illegal and an action outside of that prescribed by law, as only the returning officer had such powers. This judgment affirmed the decision of the tribunal on October the 28th, which dismissed the petition of Binani for failing to prove her allegations of overvoting by not tendering documents to prove her case, faulting the outcome of the election. In the meantime, Governor Fintiri has commended the efforts of the judiciary in ensuring that justice was served in the appeal filed by the candidate of the All Progressives Congress in the 2023 governorship election against the popular will of the people of the state. The governor, in a statement made available on Monday, described the judgment as a victory for the rule of law, indicating that democracy has come to stay in Nigeria. The Supreme Court will on Thursday, December the 21st, hear the appeal on the Kano governorship election petition filed by the NNPP against the judgment of a court of appeal. This was contained in a notice to parties by the Apex Court. One of the counsels for Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, Bashir Tudun Wazirchi, confirmed that the hearing notice was given to the legal team representing the governor and his party. The Court of Appeal in November upheld the decision of the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which sacked Governor Abba Yusuf of the New Nigeria People's Party and declared the APC candidate Nasiru Gawuna as winner. But the certified true copies of the judgment gave conflicting orders. The three-member panel of the appeal court dismissed the appeal, affirming that Governor Yusuf was not a registered member of the NNPP as at the time he contested the governorship election. However, the New Nigeria People's Party filed its notice of appeal before the Supreme Court and listed 10 grounds for challenging the appeal. The Independent National Electoral Commission said it is considering conducting by-elections and rerun elections across the country on Thursday, February the 1st, 2024, to fill existing vacancies in the state and federal legislature. The Commission's chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, disclosed this at a meeting with leaders of political parties to prepare for the elections. Yakubu said at the end of litigation, the courts have ordered the Commission to conduct rerun elections in 34 federal and state constituencies made up of 1 in the Senate, 11 federal constituencies, and 22 state constituencies.
The Election Petition Appeal Tribunals have ordered the Commission to conduct rerun elections in 34 constituencies made up of 1 senatorial district, 11 federal constituencies, and 22 state assembly constituencies. However, the 34 constituencies constitute 2.8% of the 1,191 petitions filed by litigants. The Commission is also required to conduct by-elections to fill vacancies arising from the death or resignation of members of the National and State Houses of Assembly. The Commission intends to combine and conduct the 2 categories of elections on the same day.
Commercial drivers in Maiduguri have been lamenting the low turnout of travelers for this year's Christmas holiday, which begins this weekend. According to them, the situation is due to increased fares as a result of hike in the price of fuel. Trust TV's Bitrus Guruzi monitored the situation. Here's his report.
Tashan Kano is the second major park in the Maiduguri metropolis where travelers board a trip across the state. By this time in previous years, the park usually saw an influx of travelers traveling to spend Christmas in other parts of the state or away from Borno. But this year, the park looks quiet as drivers wait for commuters. Some travelers said the trip fares have tripled compared to the previous years.
And da kam ina tafiya kan 3,500.
Back then, it cost me 3,500 to travel to Biu, but they have increased it to 6,000. The government has to reduce the price of fuel because this is too much.
4,000. 4,000, 4,500. But now it's 7,000. It's very costly.
Some drivers attribute the high cost to the hike in fuel price caused by the withdrawal of subsidy. They called on the government to subsidize fuel for the benefit of the masses.
Last year, this time around, there's no any vehicle in the park. But now, a lot of vehicles because of the price. Passengers are not coming. They have opened this car almost 1 hour now. Up to now, there's not anybody there because 12,000 is too much. There's no money in the hand of the people.
We are calling to the government to look into that problem of that fuel. At least let them that subsidy to bring the subsidy so that the people the traveling it will be like before. But we have seen a change. Before people are traveling almost a day we are getting 100 to 60 cars, but now the thing change. We are getting 20 to 30. Most of our drivers when they load, if they reach their destination, before they used to get 30,000, now they are ending with 7 and 18,000 or either 20 or 15. The thing have changed totally, and most of the spare part of the cars they have been increased. Which everything if you talk they will talk for fuel. Everything is cost.
As travelers make it to their destinations, they are hoping that the current fares do not increase again before their return. Bitrus Guruzi, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
And still talking transportation, as the Yuletide season sets in, the recurring spike in the cost of transportation has hit Nigerians traveling for the holidays, a situation which has been further compounded by the removal of fuel subsidy. The hike is being curtailed in Benue, as residents can now use subsidized public transport, which is affordable despite the rising cost of fuel. Jimmy Azande now reports.
One of the sectors significantly hit by the removal of fuel subsidy is transportation. For months, millions of Nigerians have had to struggle with rising cost of living occasioned by the unpopular government policy. As part of measures to cushion its effect, the state government commissioned commuter buses to offer public transportation at affordable rate to ease movement for residents across the state.
It has reduced the transport, most especially the fuel high, and as a result of this, it has reduced the level of this transport, especially around within Benue State. So for me, I think it's a welcome development. It's put smile on the faces of these people. This program of palliative is very, very good. We're enjoying it, especially with the Benue people.
And I really enjoy their transportation arrangements here because coming here, you have to book for tickets. I like the proper arrangements with their passengers, and the fact I got to know that it's just 14 passengers. So I think the passengers will be able to sit down comfortably, since the distance is far, and they will enjoy their stay inside the bus and enjoy when they get to their destination. So I think this place is better compared to my place.
This initiative has significantly cut down the cost of transportation fares by 100%, as routes that usually cost between 2,000 and 3,000 naira now go for between 1,000 and 1,500 naira. This development although welcome by the public, has disrupted the business of private transport operators who are losing their customers to the government.
Food given as a palliative is very good for the people of Benue State. They are enjoying it and the price is very cheap. So, issue of fuel, we don't go outside to look for fuel. There's also fuel in our terminal here. We buy it very easy and take off to our destination where we are going. So it's very easy for us to operate nationwide.
The timing of the impact of this transportation palliative appears perfect, as most travelers will breathe a sigh of relief despite the overall inflation on goods and services. For the beneficiaries, it is one problem they don't have to deal with. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
As the Christmas festivities approach, Nigerians are grappling with an unexpected scarcity of naira notes across the country. Commercial banks, who are the center of this issue, have limited daily cash withdrawals to amounts not exceeding 20,000 naira. This has led to a significant downturn in business patronage and the frustrating scenario of automated teller machines, ATMs, failing to dispense cash to citizens. Victoria Tokolo, in this report, visited the Agege Pen Cinema area of Lagos and brings us the impact of this scarcity on the local community. Her report is presented from our studio.
As Nigeria grapples with the challenges of inflation, there's a further uncertainty in the air as preparations for the approaching Christmas celebration seem to be affected by the scarcity of naira notes, which has become a pressing concern for residents and businesses alike in this festive season. Commercial banks, grappling with their own challenges, have implemented restrictions on the release of large quantities of money to customers. In Lagos State, the impact is visible, with numerous automated teller machines seemingly unable to dispense cash to citizens. Those that do are restricted, allowing only interbank transactions and keeping withdrawals at no more than 20,000 naira per day. This limitation has prompted a significant response from point-of-sale operators in the state. Seizing the opportunity, they have increased their service charges. Now, customers find themselves paying as much as 200 naira for a 5,000 naira transaction, and in some cases, a staggering 500 naira for the same amount. Speaking with Trust Television at Agege Pen Cinema, some point-of-sale operators shared their perspective on the challenges they face due to the scarcity of naira notes in the country.
I don't want to release this thing, money for us now in the bank. The highest they can give us is 20,000, and because of that, we have decided to add our own charges.
To get money now, I have to meet other people that are doing business, that are making money, large quantities. So you understand? So they have to give us money. Some are collecting charges on it, some are not collecting any charges on it. So if you go to get money from the bank, if you go to the ATM machine, you can't get more than 20,000 naira if you are using the ATM. But some people say if you go inside the bank, they can give you 100,000 naira cash in a day, and you cannot get more than that.
Right now, before we are charging 5,000 for 100 naira. That was when you are going to send bank, you see money collect. Now if you enter bank and then the bank cannot give you money more than 20,000, and that 20,000 cannot meet up with our demand. So we are buying money from outside. For that reason, we are collecting 5,000 naira to 200 for 5,000.
The scarcity of naira notes is creating a ripple effect, causing a significant decline in business for many traders who find themselves unable to sell their goods. In the midst of the scarcity of naira notes, some citizens who spoke with Trust Television shared their struggles and how it's affecting their ability to prepare for the upcoming Christmas celebrations.
POS, who want to collect 5,000, some will say 400, some will say 500. Bank, money, if you go back, some. Now I want to collect 50,000, they say I will see 20,000 for bank.
I went to the bank on Friday, so I wanted to withdraw 40,000. They said I cannot withdraw more than 20,000, and this has really been affecting our business. Being festive period, at least we need money maybe to buy things for our children, so we cannot eat, and we have money in the bank, we cannot withdraw it.
It is evident that the scarcity of naira notes is taking a toll on the festive spirit across the nation, as Nigerians are collectively appealing to the central bank governor to engage with commercial banks urgently in order to arrest the situation.
And from Lagos, we go to Kaduna State, where the governor, Ubasani, has assured that his administration will not discriminate along religious and ethnic lines. The governor gave the assurance at the Kaduna Unity Christmas Festival of 9 lessons and carols organized by the state chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, to promote peace, love and rebirth of the nation. Trust TV's Bello Musa has more.
Christian faithfuls across the state converged here for the 2023 Christmas Carol in Kaduna. It was a colorful rendition of songs from different choirs across the state. Kaduna State has been experiencing banditry, political and ethno-religious crisis in the not too distant past. In his remarks, the governor said religion and ethnic differences have caused so much division and stunted the development of Kaduna State. The governor appealed to the Christian community in the state to rally around the current administration in its quest to run an all-inclusive government.
I try to make it clear to the people of Kaduna State that we are not concerned about any religious or ethnic difference. We are one family and we are going to work together without any discrimination or segregation. That's why I'm here.
Fielding questions from newsmen, the chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, Kaduna State Chapter, Reverend Joseph Hayab, also called for peace as Christians around the world celebrate Christmas.
Because we believe that even criminals fear when people are united. But when people are divided, criminals can have a field day. The reason why we've had uncontrolled criminality in Kaduna, there will always be criminality whether we like it or not. But the rate at which it went in the past was because there was division in the land. So instead of even pursuing criminals, we were fighting among ourselves. I think what this governor wants to do is that, look, let's the fighting cease, let's join hands and chase the criminal out of our community.
The Festival of the 9 Lessons and Carols reflect on the story of the fall of humanity, the promise of the Messiah, and the birth of Jesus. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
This is News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, stakeholders shine the light on the growing out-of-school children phenomenon in northern Nigeria. More news when we return. Do stay with us.
That's right. You too could be one of the 20 Zenith Bank customers that will win 150,000 Naira every 2 weeks from June 1st, 2023 until May 31st, 2024 in the Zenith Better Life Promo 3. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Live the better life with Zenith Bank.
It's time to jackpot for more fun. This season, there are loads of exciting content. Enjoy all the drama, intrigue, suspense, and romance in a wide range of telenovela series, Nollywood movies, Bollywood, kiddies program, and introducing our new kiddies channel, Boeing. After 5 years of waiting, the Nigeria Premier Football League is finally back, live and exclusively on Star Times.
Enjoy more this season with our jackpot promo. Recharge 2 months on Classic or Super Bouquet and get 14 days free. Or recharge 2 months and get upgraded to a higher bouquet. Wow! Recharge now and jackpot for more fun and stand a chance to win Sundial TV and other fantastic gifts. Offer runs till January 20, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. Star Times. Entertain your family.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV. A recap of our top stories. 4 killed, 8 others abducted as bandits attack Katsina farmers. And appeal court affirms Fintri's election as Adamawa governor. Moving on now, Justice Donatus Okorowo of the Federal High Court in Abuja has barred the Independent National Electoral Commission from organizing by-elections to replace 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly whose seats were declared vacant. Justice Okorowo also barred the defendants in the case from interfering with the 27-member camp of the Rivers State House of Assembly from conducting their legislative duties as Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and members of the Parliament. The judge restrained the Inspector General of Police and the State Security Service from denying or refusing to provide security to the 27 lawmakers or withdrawing their security details. He subsequently adjourned the suit to December the 28th for hearing. In the meantime, the Rivers State chapter of the All Progressives Congress APC has received 27 state lawmakers who recently joined the party from the People's Democratic Party PDP. They were received at a ceremony chaired by the Rivers State APC caretaker chairman Tony Okocha at the Port Harcourt Polo Club. At the event, Okocha accused the Rivers State government of masterminding the arson of the Rivers State Assembly. The PDP had, in the wake of the defection, called on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to declare the lawmakers' seats vacant, with the Fubara government demolishing the assembly complex owing to the fire incident. Governor Fubara subsequently presented the 2024 budget to the other lawmakers at the Government House in Port Harcourt, but Okocha claims the defectors can meet and make laws at any place, irrespective of PDP's call. And now to health matters. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has reported 13 cases of dengue fever in Sokoto State, igniting anxiety about the low level of awareness among Nigerians regarding the mosquito-borne illness. The NCDC, through its official website on Monday, revealed that there were 64 suspected cases recorded in Sokoto from 3 local government areas. Dengue virus, also known as DENV, is a leading mosquito-borne virus with a wide geographical spread and a major public health concern. The Nigerian Public Health Institute said the outbreak was detected in November of 2023 with 0 fatality recorded in Sokoto State. The agency revealed that the majority of the suspected cases so far registered affected persons aged 21 to 40 years. According to the agency, dengue fever is a viral infection caused by the dengue virus and transmitted to humans through a bite from an infected mosquito. Human-to-human transmission of the virus has not been established. 6 children have been confirmed dead, while 50 others, including adults, are receiving treatment at Jukun community in Karim Lamido local government area of Taraba State over cholera outbreak. The outbreak, according to the locals, started on Thursday when the people from the area, especially children, started passing watery stool without immediate control. Confirming the development, the State Commissioner for Health, Bodi Abuma, says the state government is working to control the spread of the outbreak. The Director of Primary Health Care of Karim Lamido local government area, Frederick Nyangaji, who confirmed the incident to journalists, said the outbreak occurred on December 14th, 2023. The Vice Chairman of the Council, Musa Karim, who led a delegation to the affected community, told the media that about 30 children and adults were admitted on Thursday at the primary health care center in the area, while 6 children died in the hospital. The federal government says it is tackling the dwindling state of primary health care centers in the country through the expansion of human resources for health to meet the demands for primary health care at the rural level. At a review meeting with stakeholders in the health sector, government says it will also provide access to services including disease prevention, response to outbreaks, and also work with traditional leaders to engage citizens on the need to access primary health care services. Aishat Salihu now reports.
It's the fourth quarter review meeting with the Northern Traditional Leaders Committee on PHC delivery, with deliberations aimed at addressing the challenges of routine immunization and disease outbreaks among other health concerns experienced in the region through PHC services.
The polio issue is still there, even though the wild polio is no longer there, but they still have polio cases, especially in the northwest. What really happened? Have we gone to sleep in some places, and some places we have been wide awake walking? We won't lay blame on anybody, but we will talk about where we went silent.
Many of the northern states that are most affected have security challenges. Communities are difficult to reach. People are moving all of the time to keep safe. Health workers are finding it hard to stay in these places. So all of these things are specific targets of our health system revamp that we're going into now, discussing with the gatekeepers of the communities, the traditional leaders, to say how do we remove some of the barriers to usage of the services, to demand by the people, whether it is the ability to access the services, whether it is the willingness to access the services, where there is hesitancy for vaccines, for example, what is driving the hesitancy and what do we need to do about it.
The Health Ministry says collaboration with the traditional leaders will result in the significant reduction of avoidable death and risks of preventable communicable and non-communicable diseases.
And we use that engagement to share with them the direction of government and call on their partnership with community leaders so that they educate their population to use the services. So that if a pregnant woman discovers she's pregnant, she goes for antenatal care. But when she's about to deliver, she goes to deliver. When her child is delivered, she goes for vaccination. And when outbreak responses are being conducted, they participate and accept the vaccines. These vaccines are provided by the federal government and our development partners. They are not free of cost. They are investments that we're making so that we can safeguard the lives of our children.
At the review meeting, Nigerians were enjoined to take advantage of the efficacy of vaccines following the achievement of a record of 4.7 million vaccinated adolescent girls across 14 states in the first phase of the HPV vaccine against cervical cancer. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And from health to education, where stakeholders in the education sector have described the rising spate of out-of-school children, particularly in the northern part of Nigeria, as disheartening and unacceptable. They stated this at the 2023 Bauchi Education Summit held in the state. Adamu Imam has details of that story.
The State Minister of Education, Yusuf Sununu, at the gathering announced that the federal government's newly established National Commission for Almajiri and out-of-school children is set to commence activities. Sununu says such gathering will encourage issues of education and develop a roadmap for the integration of Sangaya Madrasa schools into basic education.
The document is aligning with the 8-point agenda of the present administration of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and aimed at bringing back glory days of education in Nigeria.
Former TED Fund boss Suleiman Bogoro, in a remark, explained that leaders should accept responsibilities and emphasize the need to invest in basic education, which he said is the foundation to addressing problems of education.
We are looking at issues that will proceed to nurture the future of Bauchi State, which is not possible without access and quality of education. Access to education and improving the quality.
We follow the issue of feeding as the solution to the out of school. Because we renovated schools, in some schools, nobody. Some schools, 9, some classes, 9 pupils, some 17. But when we follow them with just lunch, I'm telling you, we have to return back some students. And those going on a Almajiri program decided to stay in their villages just to get that lunch.
The State Governor Bala Mohammed said the move will facilitate better collaboration and synergy in addressing out-of-school children and also grant the Sangaya schools the necessary recognition and status they deserved.
The Bauchi State Education Summit stands as a call to action to break the cycle of any educational disadvantages that we are facing. The urgency of this endeavor cannot be overstated. Before I go any further, I consider it appropriate to remind all of us that the challenges facing Nigeria's educational sector are intricate and pervasive, extending beyond the borders of both systems.
A panel of discussion on the way forward for education in the state was led by Professor Usman Bugaji, an educationist from the zone. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And still talking education, the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria says no fewer than 3,963 teachers who sat for the November 2023 diet of the professional qualifying examination for teachers across the country failed the test. The examination is conducted by the TRCN to test the professional knowledge of those in the teaching profession. Speaking with journalists during an interactive session on Monday, the registrar of the TRCN, Professor Josiah Ajiboye, who gave the breakdown, said the council will continue to work towards the improvement of the teaching profession in Nigeria. According to him, a total of 15,753 sat the examination in 38 centers across the country, with 10,636 passing the exams and 3,963 failing. Ajiboye also noted that other candidates were absent, while others had results cancelled due to examination malpractices. You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. The news continues after the break. Do stay.
Hello and welcome to Creative Lounge on Trust TV. My name is Ahmed Mohammed Bello and I'm going to be taking you through my journey as an artist.
On to business now. President Bola Tinubu has asked the board of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to immediately get to work, warning that non-performance will not be tolerated. Inaugurating the board at the State House on Monday, President Tinubu also warned that conduct suggesting a sense of entitlement will not be tolerated, warning that the board could be dissolved without prior notice to members over non-performance. Here's that report.
President Tinubu said corporate social responsibility for the Niger Delta must be taken seriously, considering the devastating effects of oil exploration and exploitation on the environment.
It is not about us. It's about well-being of the entire country and the lifeblood of our resources. We should care for the environment. As we do everything possible within the security architecture to minimize stealing and vandalization.
The president directed that more attention should be given to gas as Nigeria transitions to cleaner energy.
And we have separated investments, opportunity, and production of gas, which is the transition project problem. We need to show that we are committed to the welfare of our country.
In his remarks, the chairman of the board, Pius Akinyelure, commended the president for the removal of petroleum subsidy, noting that the nations will be drowned in debt but for his decisiveness.
We are very much aware, Mr. President, of your efforts to support the oil and gas industry. The removal of the oil subsidy on the day you were inaugurated is a demonstration of your desire to make sure you bring peace, profitability to the oil industry.
The board also pledged to increase the nation's daily production to 2 million barrels per day.
Oil prices shot up nearly 3% Monday as more companies suspended shipping through the Red Sea following attacks on vessels by Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels. Meanwhile, U.S. stocks sought to continue last week's rally on expectations that the U.S. Federal Reserve will cut interest rates next year, although it appears to have lost steam in Asia and Europe. Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels said Monday they had attacked 2 Israeli-linked vessels in the Red Sea, the latest in a flurry of drone and missile strikes on vessels entering the Red Sea aimed at pressuring Israel over its war with Hamas in the Gaza Strip. 5 major shipping firms, including 3 of the world's largest, have said they are rerouting their vessels away from the Red Sea. On Monday, British oil giant BP and Taiwan's Evergreen became the latest to suspend transit. Ships must travel through the Red Sea to use the Suez Canal, a key transit route for cargo and oil. Equity indices are still set to end the year on a high after the Fed suggested last week it will begin loosening monetary policy as U.S. data shows inflation coming down and the economy on course for a soft landing. And on the foreign scene, at least 11 people have died and 88 others injured following an explosion at the main fuel depot in Guinea on Monday, a civil protection chief has said. Emergency services have counted 11 deaths and 88 seriously injured at the incident in the capital Conakry. Operational Technical Director Jean Traoré told a meeting with the foreign minister and ambassadors. The government said in a statement that the origin of the fire was unknown, adding that an investigation will be launched to determine its cause and parties responsible. A huge fire and billowing black smoke were visible from miles away as firefighters rushed to the area, while several tanker trucks left the depot, escorted by soldiers and police. Workers, excluding defense and security forces and medical personnel, were advised to stay at home, while public and private schools and most gas stations were also closed. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has won a new 6-year term with 89.6% of the vote, the election authority announced Monday. Turnout reached an unprecedented 66.8% of voters, said authority head Hazim Badawi. Over 39 million had cast their ballots for Sisi, a former army chief who has ruled the most populous Arab country for a decade. The president was up against 3 relatively unknowns in the vote held between December 10th and 12th. Runner-up Hazim Omar, who leads the Republican People's Party, received 4.5% of the vote. Sisi is now set to serve his 3rd and final term in office, starting in April 2024, according to the Constitution. Sisi's win comes as no surprise, despite Egypt being gripped by its worst-ever economic crisis and high tensions around the Israeli-Hamas war in neighboring Gaza. Sports now. It's time to join Emmanuel Fashemi for Sports Update.
Head coach of Heartland FC of Owerri, Kennedy Boboye, has commended his players' resilience on the crucial match, the 14-1 home win over visiting Akwa United at the Dan IAM Stadium, Owerri, Imo State. Boboye, in his reaction to the win, however, stated that he and his players are not satisfied with their present 18th place standing on the MPFL table, noting that getting the desired results that would take them off the relegation zone as soon as possible is their priority ahead of subsequent fixtures. He told the club's media that having gotten the vital win over Akwa United, he is looking forward to the next game with Doma United in Gombe, where he is positive the club will prevail. They will trade tackles with Doma United on Thursday in March the 15th of the MPFL 2023-2024 league season. The UEFA Champions League round of 16 draws have been conducted with exciting fixtures lined up in the league. In the draws, Super Eagles of Nigerian striker and his Napoli team will take on Barcelona, while defending champions Manchester City will square up against Danish side Copenhagen. Arsenal will play FC Porto of Portugal as last season finalist Inter Milan entertains Atletico Madrid. In the other fixtures, PSG face Real Sociedad, while 14-time champions Real Madrid will lock horns with RB Leipzig as Lazio battle Bayern Munich and PSV take on Borussia Dortmund. Meanwhile, the first legs of the encounter are bid for 13th to 14th and 20th to 21st of February 2024, with the second leg set for 5th to 6th and 12th to 13th March 2024. And that is it on sports. I am Emmanuel Fashemi.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for that sports update. With that, we have come to the end of News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Eugenia Abu. It's been a pleasure to bring News Hour to you on behalf of the team. Thank you for joining us.
From the Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.